Okay, and we are live. Welcome, welcome. So we are going to get right into it. The title of this video is What is Multiplication? So I'm going to explain what multiplication is and the various strategies for solving multiplication problems and what are the best steps and what's the best order to learn your fact family. So that's what I'm going to get into with this video. So what is multiplication? Multiplication is repeated addition. It is when you take the same number and you add it together multiple times. For example, 3 times 5 means that you're adding the number 5 3 times. It's just a shorter way of writing 5 plus 5 plus 5. And there's various ways to solve that problem. I actually also have a picture next to the problem. And here, this is an array of the multiplication problem 3 times 5. We have 3 rows of smiley faces with 5 smiley faces in each row. So the quickest and most efficient way to solve multiplication problems, especially when we're starting with single-digit multiplication, is to master the art of skip counting. If you're able to skip count by 5s, you can just figure out what 3 times 5 is very, very quickly. If you're not able to skip count, the best way to go about solving is to use arrays, to draw pictures, or to use manipulatives. When I say manipulatives, I mean like toy action figures, bears. You can even use candy or starbursts. Just really any item that you can make into rows. So with multiplication, we have groups of something. For example, 3 groups of 5. And our goal is to find the total. So there's 3 rows of 5 smiley faces, and we need to find what the total amount of smiley faces is. Now, if you're not able to add the numbers in your head, what you can do is make your 3 rows of 5 and then count the total number. So count the total number of smiley faces. It'll be a little bit slower. It'll take longer to get the answer, but you will get the right answer that way. The quick way to do it would be to count by 5. So 3 times 5 is the same as adding 5 plus 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5 equals 10. 10 plus 5 equals 15. 3 times 5 equals 15. Four times 2, that means that you're adding the number 4 2 times. It's just a shorter way of writing 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So the fast way to do it would be to count by 2s. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 equals 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. If you're not comfortable skip counting yet, another way to do it would be to make 4 rows and put 2 of something in each row. For this example, I drew starbursts. Well, these are supposed to be starbursts. I know I'm not the best artist. But another way to do it is you make 4 rows of 2, and then you count the total number, of starbursts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Both ways will get you the right answer. This way is obviously faster and more efficient. But either way, you'll get the right answer. So I'm going to show another problem now. So 4 times 6 means I'm adding the number 6 4 times. It's a shorter way of writing 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. And then And then if you wanted to make an array, you would take an item. Say you wanted to use triangles. I'm going to make 4 rows of 6. 4 rows with 6 triangles in each row. So you can make your 4 rows of 6. You can count each individual triangle, and that will get you the right answer. Definitely the quickest, most efficient way to do it would be to count by 6s. Six, 12, 18, 24. 6 plus 6 equals 12. 12 plus 6 equals 18. 18 plus 6 equals 24. And 4 times 6 equals 24. So the first step to learn the multiplication is understanding what multiplication is, understanding that multiplication is taking a number and adding that number a certain amount of times. And really the second step is learning your fact families and learning how to skip count. If you can skip count by 6s, you can, well, let me stop. Let me get into the fact families first. So the first step to multiplication, like I said, is knowing what multiplication is. Understanding that multiplication is taking a number and adding that number a certain amount of times. Now, when we first learn multiplication, we learn it through the fact families. We learn single-digit multiplication through the fact families, 1 through 10. Now, the easiest 3 fact families to learn are 10, 5, and 2. So I'm going to write that. These are the fact families to start with: 10, 5, and 2. So you should definitely start with these fact families, and you should start learning to skip count with these numbers. Be able to count from 10 to 100, skip counting from 10 to 100. Be able to count from 5 to 50, skip counting 5 to 50. Be able to count from 2 to 20, skip counting from 2 to 20. If you're able to skip count by 2s, skip count by 5s, skip count by 10s, you will be able to solve single-digit multiplication problems for those fact families very, very easily. I'm going to do another video that's specific to each fact family, but when I talk about skip counting, I'm going to actually demonstrate how to skip count now. I'm going to actually go skip count going from 10 to 100. All right, here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So what I would recommend is that you practice your skip counting every day. Start with skip counting by 10s and start with the 10 fact family. And then once you've mastered that, then move on to the 5 fact family. and then move on to the 2-fact family. It won't happen overnight. It's definitely not something that you can do in one day. It's something 10 minutes a day for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. If you do it every day for 10 minutes a day, though, you will have it memorized. You will have it mastered, or at least you'll get a lot better at that strategy. Again, if you do not know how to skip count, there are other strategies for solving multiplication problems. You can use arrays, you can draw pictures, you can use manipulatives. But I would recommend. I would definitely recommend skip counting and being familiar with numbers 1 through 10, and memorizing your single-digit multiplication facts. It's important to understand the process, but it's also important to have that fluency down path and be able to do both. And if you're able to skip count by 10s, skip count by 5s, skip count by 2s. Skip count with every number from 1 to 10, you'll be able to fluently multiply single-digit numbers. And if you're able to fluently multiply single-digit numbers, it makes multiplying 2, 3, and 4-digit numbers a lot easier. So that was my video for today. Actually, no, I'm not going to pause it yet. I'm going to skip count by 2s also. I'm going to skip count by 5s. I'm going to skip count by 2s also. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I'm going to skip count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So that is my introduction to multiplication. Multiplication is taking the same number and adding it multiple times. And the best fact families to start learning multiplication with are the 10-fact family, the 5-fact family, and the 2-fact family. Going forward on this playlist, I'm going to be doing a video for each fact family. I'm going to start with the 3 fact families I mentioned in this video. But that is my introduction to multiplication. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a great rest of the day.